think we're good. All right, so I watched the Vermont press conference this morning. So good news, I think. I mean, it went on for 40 minutes with them basically announcing that the Kurds were dead, the dump search was nothing. But the good news is they did not use your name in any of it. They basically said there's a suspect in custody. That's the news report we printed out this morning on the press conference. I'll give you a second to read that. Good deal. Yeah, so I think that was, the good news. And let me tell you, I watched, it was the U.S. Attorney from Vermont and the State Attorney, who actually is running for elected office right now. They were the main speakers. They had an FBI person up there, too, to talk about the dump. But, went on for 40 minutes. And literally, I have to say 30 of those minutes were them getting the crap kicked out of them by the press for the no comments on things. I must have heard at least 50 no comments from primarily the U.S. Attorney, because they wanted to know, all about this. Why aren't you saying he's in custody? Why don't you give us a name? All kinds of questions, you name it. And they got it from the press, and they just stood there and took it. And they did that in deference, I think, to what we're doing here today and what we started doing on Wednesday. So I think that, it was sort of amazing for me to watch that, based upon what we're doing in this room, we affected a press conference 4,500 miles away about what they were going to say. And, they're clearly under intense pressure here. So, I thought all that was good news. I thought, they're respecting our process here, the law enforcement is. And obviously the press, as we told you, we can't control what they do. I got off the phone with them this morning after the press conference. I talked to the prosecutor and both federal and state, and they said, look, the press has your name, and they're gonna run it in connection with this because of information they received. Remember, I told you early on, months ago when we were dealing with this, someone didn't know the gravity of it and leaked your name into it, and so they're confident that the press is going to attach you to this. So, I think they got some questions after the press conference, even throwing out your name, and, one of them knew that you'd stayed in a hotel, like they had done their own investigation, the press, and knew that you'd stayed in that hotel that you stayed in. So, just to be fair, I want to be straight up with you here. While everything that law enforcement did at the press conference was with our goals in mind, like we've always told you, we can't prevent what some intrepid reporter is going to do, and they've told us, like, this reporter had this for a while, just waiting for some sort of confirmation on it, and they're confident they'll run a story. I mean, I don't know how big it'll be. A dozen people were killed in Colorado last night in a shooting in a movie theater. So
Batman premiere.
Somebody
walked in and opened fire. 12 people, and then there was like gas.
A whole bunch of people injured. Yeah.
An infant, like a 3-month-old, was shot there. So that's kind of gripping the country right now.
Wow. Did he get killed?
The guy?
Yeah.
He got caught.
He got caught in the parking lot,
Yeah.
trying to hide his gas mask and stuff. So
Yeah.
apparently wasn't planning on suicide or anything.
It was Aurora, Colorado, which was
Just outside of Denver, I think.
yeah, outside of Denver, a suburb of Denver. But then, after the whole Columbine thing, obviously it reopens those wounds out there. So certainly not good news, but I don't know. It made create a distraction here. So
See, what you're saying, you think they're going to run a story
Yeah.
before the end of the day?
Yeah.
With me?
Yeah.
Well,
Without confirmation, I mean, at the U.S. Attorney's Office, nobody's saying, confirming anything, but it's a story they've had
it seems
for a
like they've
while.
been getting pressure from at least some media person who has had this information, and they've been able to hold this person off with the information because they got it early on in the investigation, and apparently this media outlet doesn't see any need now to not say anything because they don't see any investigation going on that they would be disrupting. I think the chief's been able to say, you guys are going to screw it up in our investigation, and so now they're like, you're not looking anymore. What are we going to screw up? So
Right.
I mean, who knows?
Yeah. And then what I talked to you about, that confirmation that reporters need, that they've been unable to get a separate source to confirm whatever their source told them early on.
Right.
So then they're basically like, well, I think ethically they couldn't run it, and maybe it was a combination of both. But look, the jig is up on that, I guess now. But I think we did everything we could, and we're still doing everything we can to kind of move things forward here. It was kind of inevitable. We told you that on Wednesday. That's what they thought, and they confirmed it this morning that that's going to happen.
A little quicker than what we had anticipated on Wednesday.
Yeah, we're hoping at least have the weekend or something. But
Well, we were hoping by the no comments that they kept doing at the press conference that they would get the hint that we're not going to confirm anything that you're asking us, but they don't think that this media seems to care. So, and it could be still an idle threat, but it doesn't. They don't think so. They think they're running. They're pretty confident they're going.
So you're saying they still didn't give them confirmation?
No,
they're not going to.
But the idea that the investigation is over and someone is
fairly confident, apparently.
If someone is in custody in another jurisdiction, just that, sort of merely saying that, I think gives the press enough to then run the story ethically. So just like we need corroboration to convict you of a crime,
right?
They need corroboration to kind of print a story. And if they have one source, I think this is what the reporters have told me before, they have one source, they can't run it pursuant to the journalistic ethics, but if they have some confirmation of that source, which can come, I guess, in a variety of different ways, they can run it. So,
right.
but right now they said nothing. I mean, I brought this in here in the hopes to even show you the press conference. I don't think I can stream it on that, but it was something to watch where they just kind of said no comment, no comment, no comment. Even the chief, he went out there and said, "Look, believe me, we're not commenting for a reason, and that reason is in the interests of." Of everyone here. We're trying to work towards the greater good. So that's basically what he said, and I think that's exactly what we're trying to accomplish, what we've been doing on this case and what we've been doing with you.
Right. All right.
But, I guess, we tried to control that early on, as you know, with that letter, but like we said, there was always sort of, once that kind of opportunity passed us by, we knew the day would come, but, kind of a bummer that it's here, but not unexpected.